Sneakerheads and basketball enthusiasts alike, this is the Only Lane, and we are back to get into a performance review for this. Before we get into that, you can hit the like button and subscribe button if you like what you see before, or if you like what you see today. And let's just start right off. These are obviously the Nike GT Cut 2s, and let's start off with the traction. For traction on these, they have what they call like a wiper blade traction. You can see that here, right in the forefoot, and then on the back you have some nubs, and then as well as the tip of the forefoot, you got them nubs as well. On the middle, on the middle here, you don't really got anything, honestly. It's just like a very smooth type of rubber. Traction with these, really inconsistent. It's that simple. It was very inconsistent. You have where it'll literally go from perfect on like a perfect court, it's gonna work perfectly. You're not gonna have any issues with any slipping. On a dusty court, or you get any moisture on the court, or even a dirty court, you are gonna be slipping and sliding. And now we'll play you guys clips, if I can find some clips of me sliding all over the place, because it happens, and it happened a lot. It happened so much that I was damn near done testing this, and I had to like wait to find a clean court just to make sure like this traction actually does work, because it just wasn't functioning the way that I wanted it to. Outside, it also functions well as well. The grooves are pretty thick. This is not going to weigh down anytime soon. I think it'll last the test of time, but if you're on a dirty court or just a normal, honestly, we're just gonna say it's a normal court. It's a normal court. Normal people don't play on perfect courts. You're gonna slip and slide. You're gonna end up needing a lot of wiping to be able to function in these. Moving on up to cushioning, we have a drop-in midsole. It's got, trying to pull it out real quick. It's got React on the midsole, or as the carrier, and then underneath that is in the heel. You got an air unit. I believe that's a, what is it, an air zoom unit you call it? Heel zoom air unit, yep. And then you got the zoom Strobel. I don't know if you guys can see that right there. That's underneath all of that. So you would expect like great cushioning. You really would, right? You got the heel unit, you got the React, which is very soft, and then you have the zoom Strobel, and you would expect that combination, just like everything really soft, to like make for a really cushioned shoe, and it doesn't do that. This is just the proof that combining a bunch of good cushions, or even having them saying, oh, it has this type of cushion in there, isn't gonna give you the same cushion as you had before, right? Because with Strobel, we had that in the KD12, and for me, that was one of the best cushions I've ever had in my life. React foam, I love React foam. React foam is very good. I believe React was in one of these shoes that I used recently, and I really did enjoy that. And you can combine that. You can switch up like the makeup. You can have the zoom units bigger or smaller, and that slight difference will make a difference in how the cushioning feels. And for these, this combination just didn't work. There was a chart that showed the difference between the three GT shoes, and which one has the most cushioning and the most traction and all that. If I could find it, I'll put it up. And this one ended up with the least amount of cushioning. I think the one with the most amount was the GT I think it was the Jump. I think that's what they call it, the GT Jump, or something, Bounce maybe. That one clearly had the most cushioning. This one is on the lower side, and you can definitely feel it. What it was supposed to be good at though was the traction, and like I stated before, the traction just really wasn't that good. But this is definitely like a guard shoe, so it's not gonna have like that really ultimate cushions you want. It's gonna get the job done. You're not gonna feel a lot of pain in your forefoot or your heel or really anywhere because it is there, but it's very it's gonna feel very minimal at times. And then last but not least, we can wrap it up with Lockdown on these sneakers. Lockdown is just something, and I always like to say it's something that combines materials, your laces, the heel cup. The Lockdown combines a couple different aspects of the sneaker, and the Lockdown in the sneaker, for the most part, was not too bad. The bad part I would say about you guys know how I feel about flat laces. I will say the flat laces performed very well, but the bad part that I will say about this is that this heel cup, they did do something different to the heel cup. Let me see if I can find the exact verbiage for it. It says, other updates to the Air Zoom GT Cut 2 include a refined heel shape for a more secure fit, a carved out midsole to reduce the rubber content and the overall weight of the shoe, and a heel zoom air. Oh, okay, we already talked about that. It says, other updates to the Air Zoom GT Cut 2 include a refined heel shape for a more secure fit. I don't know how they can say that, honestly. Whatever they did to the heel, and obviously you guys didn't see me put out a video for the GT Cut 1, so I never had them. Those was one of the sneakers that I really did want to test at that time, and I don't remember what happened. I think it was just hard to get, and then when you tried to get them, you had to go through like the resale market, and I just wasn't doing that. But it was one of the most people's favorite sneaker of the year, and you saw a lot of NBA players playing it all year long, so I assumed it was a good performer. Whatever they did to the heel on this, it just didn't work. I don't know if I wasn't tying my shoe tight enough, which I usually do tie them very tight, but my heel would slip out in this more than it should, right? When you don't expect to slip out of your heel that often, I can't even think of a sneaker right now that I play basketball in where my heel just slips out at all, right? To even think about that. Where there are cases where it does feel like it might slip out. That was the Trey ones. I can think, there's just one I can think of off the top of my head. It felt like, hey, maybe this might slip out. But on these, you were actually feeling like your whole heel pop out and then pop back in. Okay, so I wanted to go into my notes to find anything that I'd missed, and let's see what we missed here. It says, when tied too tight, the plastic by the edge of the tongue digs into the foot. After laces were adjusted to under the fat part, the tongue issue was resolved. That was on the first test run. So you can see that you can see on the tongue here, there's two different parts, right? There's the top part and there's the bottom part. Right here on the side, there's like this plasticky piece, and that will dig directly into your foot. It's not the most comfortable feeling ever. Really sucks. So adjust to that. And the last thing from the notes, it says it has like a weird angle. So I guess whatever this piece is that's supposed to keep your foot from rolling over, wasn't really working. It says has such a weird angle on the midsole that it feels like I'm leaning over on the lateral side. Almost rolled my ankle multiple times, specifically on the right foot. I don't know. That's what the notes say. When it comes to these sneakers, I'm not gonna lie to you, I kind of just trash pretty much every single part of the sneaker. It's a good guard sneaker, I will say that. So it's a good guard sneaker. It'll work for what it's meant to work for, right? Traction on a good court, if you're playing on a good court every time. If you don't really need cushioning like that. Once that material on the tongue wears down, it won't be a big deal. It'll work for that type of person, right? The person who needs that type of thing. For me, it just didn't work. So for me, personally, right, I would give these like a 5, like a 5.5, 6, because it just didn't work out for me. I need traction to work every time, 100% of the time. It doesn't really matter how dirty the court is. Like, you have to, I can't slide that much. There's just no way. I can't have my heel come out and cushioning. I kind of prefer a little bit more cushioning. So personally for me, this is like a 5.5, 6. my personal recommendation is always go look at somebody else's review before you make a decision, a buying decision on these. You can 100% go and pick these up in the outlet right now, because the GT Cut 3, I've already seen images of those. And I picked these up in the outlets, so you can get these on a good sale right now. And I believe that's it. What did I pay for these? The box says $129, but I'm 100% positive I paid less than that because I picked up 2 sneakers that day. I think I got them like half off. So go and grab a pair of these if that's your thing. These are the GT Cut 2s. I'm the only land, and I'm out of here. You guys have a good one.